Bina is the Israeli movement for Jewish social change. Bina is about people, mostly Jews, coming to study Jewish sources and Jewish culture and Jewish heritage and take ownership of it for themselves, make it a part of their lives in a way that they choose. And we also believe that if you're going to study Jewish culture and Torah in the broadest sense, you have to practice it somehow. And our understanding of Torah, the main message of Torah, is social justice. We run educational workshops and programs for public school students across Israel, and for IDF soldiers, and for visitors from around the world. Then I was a teacher at a Jewish school in New York for 4 years. I actually taught Hebrew, so it was a bunch of like lovely middle-aged Israeli women and me teaching Hebrew. And then about 4 years ago was when I had my quarter-life crisis and realized I needed to do something different with my life. I realized I wanted to spend a year of my life living in Israel. I didn't know if I wanted to make Aliyah or not, but I knew that was a life experience that I needed to have, and if I never did it, I would always regret not having spent a year of my life in Israel. And I wanted to spend a year of my life dedicated to social justice. All right, we're gonna go for a little walk. Before we go outside, I'll just say a couple of things. This isn't like a traditional tour of like an archaeological park or museum. We're going for a walk through a neighborhood where people live. So something that's really cool about neighborhoods like this is it's kind of like an epitome for the history of Israel, right here in one neighborhood. There's another wave of immigrants that have come to Israel more recently, in the last 7-8 years. And those are the majority of people you saw in the neighborhood, which are the African migrants from Sudan and also from Eritrea. Theory behind refugee laws: if a person is really being persecuted and under danger, you can't turn them away. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to check each individual person and see, is this person a refugee, is this person not? If they're a refugee, they should be entitled to refugee status, which usually allows them to stay in the country for 5 to 7 years, the right to work, access to social services, healthcare, education, right? And if they're not a refugee, then possibly they can be deported either to their home country or another country. Israel doesn't have the capacity to help every refugee from everywhere in Africa. But I believe that we definitely have the capacity, as well as the moral and Jewish obligation, to help the 46,000 people who are here, who came here, who we let into this country, who have lived among us for years. To them we have an obligation. Cholot is a prison for asylum seekers or refugees in Israel. Officially, Cholot is called an open residency facility for illegal infiltrators. In effect, it's a prison. It was built as a prison. It's operated by the Israel Prison Services. And the only few differences are, well, the people who go to this prison don't have any trial. They're sent there by clerks of the Interior Ministry. It's very important for me that the refugee Seder happen, especially when things were coming very challenging and very difficult and very dark looking for the asylum seekers in Israel. We felt we needed something a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more from the heart.
הצפירות בכביש לרחובות המלוכלכים, בין משפחות הפשע לטלוויזיה השטחית, כמו רקפות בין הסלעים.
פסח זהו גם חג החירות, וכל עוד יש בינינו אנשים שכלואים ללא משפט וללא עוול. אף אחד מאיתנו לא באמת חופשי. Freedom to everybody, soon.
One issue is just fear. Just kind of a natural, innate gut fear. Once people get over that fear, they sometimes feel sympathy or empathy towards the asylum seekers. They say, listen, I feel really bad for these people, but it's a Jewish country. It's for Jewish refugees. It's not for non-Jewish refugees. And then that's when I ask them the question, what does it mean to be a Jewish country? What does it mean to be a Jewish state? A state for Jews only, or a state based on Jewish values? And so often when I ask that question to Israelis, they say to me, you know what, I never thought of it before.
לא תאמין איך הם מופיעים כמו רקפות בין הסלעים בין הדגלים הכתומים לחולצה הכחולה בין שוק הפשפשים לקריית הממשלה כמו רקפות בין הסלעים הפנים היפים של הארץ מתחבאים